The story of Drake and Pusha T is one of the most fascinating rivalries in modern hip-hop, not because of gunfire, not because of street wars, but because of precision, strategy, and timing. It is a war fought with pens, with microphones, with carefully chosen words that landed like knives. It is a story of pride, ego, and reputation, and it is remembered because of how brutally personal it became. Drake, born Aubrey Graham in Toronto, Canada, rose to fame first as an actor on the television show Degrassi, The Next Generation. From the outside, he didn't look like the stereotypical rapper of the 2000s. He wasn't from New York or Los Angeles. He wasn't projecting the hardened image of a street hustler. He was a middle-class kid from Toronto who could act, who could sing, and who could rap. Yet when he dropped his early mixtapes, his talent was undeniable. Drake was a writer of melodies, someone who could blend R&B hooks with rap verses, someone who sounded vulnerable, yet confident at the same time. When Lil Wayne brought him under the wing of Young Money, his career skyrocketed. Within just a few years, Drake went from being an outsider to one of the most dominant forces in hip-hop and pop. Pusha T, born Terrence Thornton in Virginia Beach, was cut from a completely different cloth. Alongside his brother Malice, he formed the duo Clips. Their early 2000s work with producers. The Neptunes was legendary. Albums like Lord Willin' and Hell Hath No Fury were filled with tales of the cocaine trade, delivered with sharp wordplay and raw authenticity. Pusha's reputation was built not just on skill, but on credibility. When Pusha T rapped about the streets, about hustling, about dealing, it carried weight. His style was colder, more deliberate, more menacing. He wasn't the global superstar Drake was, but among rap purists, Pusha T was respected as one of the sharpest pens in the game. Their worlds didn't have to collide. But in hip-hop, rivalries have a way of forming out of pride, out of territory, out of subtle shots. The seeds of this feud go all the way back to the mid-2000s, when Clips had problems with Birdman and Cash Money Records. Those tensions bled into subliminal shots at Lil Wayne. Since Drake was Wayne's protege, it was only a matter of time before the crossfire reached him. For years, there were small jabs. Nothing explosive, just little lines and verses, hints that the two camps didn't respect each other. But those subliminals grew heavier over time, until finally it erupted into one of the most devastating modern rap wars. In 2012, Pusha T released Exodus 23:1, a track that many fans believed was aimed at Lil Wayne and Drake. The song criticized rappers who signed to labels under other labels, pointing at the structure of Young Money and Cash Money. Drake fired back indirectly in songs, but nothing too direct. The tension was simmering. By 2013, Wayne himself dropped Ghoulish, aimed at Pusha, though most fans agreed it was a weak response. Pusha didn't even flinch. For a while, things cooled down, but the rivalry didn't disappear. It was just waiting for the right spark. That spark came in 2016, when Pusha T released HGTV. In it, he seemed to take shots at Drake's alleged use of ghostwriters, an accusation that had already been circulating after Meek Mill accused Drake in 2015. The ghostwriting scandal had hurt Drake's reputation among hardcore hip-hop fans, even though commercially he was bigger than ever. Pusha was reminding the world of those doubts, poking at the sorest spot in Drake's armor. Drake responded the following year, in 2017, on the track Two Birds, One Stone. Here, Drake finally addressed Pusha more directly, mocking his authenticity and questioning his drug-dealing past. For Drake, this was a confident swing. He was at the top of the charts. His albums were breaking records, and his global reach was unmatched. To him, Pusha T was a respected lyricist but not a threat to his throne. To him, a few clever lines would be enough to keep Pusha in check. But what Drake didn't know was that Pusha was patient, methodical, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. In May 2018, Pusha T released his album Daytona. On the track Infrared, he once again hit Drake over the ghostwriting scandal. The timing couldn't have been better. Kanye West, who was producing for Pusha, had created a dark, focused soundscape. The shots at Drake landed sharply, and this time, Drake didn't let it slide. Within just 24 hours, Drake fired back with Duppy Freestyle. duppy freestyle was a calculated diss. Drake went straight at Pusha and even threw jabs at Kanye. He accused Pusha of exaggerating his past, mocked his career, and dismissed him as irrelevant compared to Drake's dominance. The internet exploded. Most fans thought Drake had won. The freestyle was sharp, confident, and it felt like Drake had successfully brushed Pusha aside. He even ended the song by joking that he expected a